Hi, I'm Jodi Bondi Norgaard, and I'm a speaker, consultant, activist, and founder of Go-Go Sports Girls, a line of sports dolls and books encouraging healthy and active play over fashion and body image. I speak a lot about female empowerment and girl empowerment and entrepreneurial persistence. When I think of fierce, I think of a powerful, heartfelt intensity. And that's true for me. I was a fierce protector over my daughter and over every little girl in the world. So my kids would certainly say I was fierce when I had my aha moment. And I want to share my aha moment with you. It was at a toy store. And my daughter Grace was with me, and she was 9, and she had just gotten done playing soccer. So she's still in her little soccer uniform. Her cheeks are all rosy, and her hair is in crazy, messy pigtails. And we go into the toy store because she needs a birthday gift in 30 minutes for a party that she has to attend. So parents out there, you totally understand that scene. So we're frantically going up and down the aisles, and a line of dolls just stopped me in my tracks. They had on short skirts, crop top, belly button ring, big hair, lots of makeup. I look at my daughter, I look at these dolls, and I pick up one of the dolls, and I have one to show you. The name was Lovely Lola. And at that moment, I knew there wasn't one parent out there that wanted their daughter to look, act, or be called Lovely Lola. I mean, really, this still makes me angry. And I've known Lola now for 11 years. So anyway, we're on a first name basis. But Lola, the first word that comes to mind when I view this doll, and it's not just this doll. There's so many dolls out there that look like this, products that are marketed to girls that are sexy. So I don't care if it's the first word or the 10th word that comes to mind. When you are describing a product that is marketed to girls and sexy is the word you think of, it's not a good product. It needs to be pulled off the shelf. I feel very, very strongly about this. So as I look back on my entrepreneurial journey, it was my moment in the toy aisle with Lola that made me realize something that I already knew. That we as a culture, specifically the toy industry, was doing a lousy job showing girls strong, smart, and powerful images. And maybe I couldn't change a culture, but maybe there was something I could do, and maybe I could change an industry. So my moment in the toy aisle was definitely a moment of clarity for me, but it was preceded by many situations in my life that shaped who I am and how I feel about gender issues. My own personal experiences with gender inequality and gender stereotyping that has led me to know the importance of girls knowing what their minds and bodies can do versus what their bodies look like. And when I was a kid, I knew I was strong. I knew I was smart. I knew I was adventurous. I was good in school. I was a good leader. I was a good athlete. But that all started to change around 12 years old, so junior high. And I'm going to share with you 3 childhood stories that I think led me down this path. I was in 7th grade and I raised my hand in science class, and my teacher didn't like what I had to ask, and he proceeded to tell me, "Oh, that's right, you're blonde. That's why you asked that question," to the laughter of my classmates. In 8th grade, it happened again. I was in math class and I asked a question, and again, my teacher didn't think it was a very good question, and he proceeded to tell me, "Oh, that's right, you're blonde. That means you can't have brains too." So 2 situations that happened about a year apart, okay, maybe you think get over it, or, how does one person deal with it? I mean, it ate at my self-esteem, but what was harder was those two teachers, those leaders, gave permission to my classmates, to call me a dumb blonde outside of school, at the bus stop, in the cafeteria. So it became part of my life, hearing, hey, dumb blonde, hey, dumb blonde. Now that's what eats at a person's self-esteem. By the end of 8th grade, I had 2 male teachers ask me to come into their classroom after school. I thought it had something to do with my schoolwork. Well, no. They proceeded to tell me how hot I was and how lucky the boys were that I was about to enter high school. So it really wasn't about me. It was about how lucky the boys were that I was about to enter high school. I also realized at that time that I was no longer being judged on what my mind and body can do. I was now being judged on what I look like. And what I have found in our culture is that there are many ways that women and girls are underestimated and misjudged. And I believe if we let women and girls rise to their full potential, they will do amazing things, but we tend to pigeonhole them into stereotypes. So those 3 situations in junior high, I never told my mom, I never told my dad, my sister, or any of my friends because I was embarrassed. I didn't want anyone to know. But it did do one thing. It shut me up. For the next 4 years, my goal was to slide under the radar. I chose to stand on the sidelines. I did not want any attention, good or bad, and I was pretty successful at it. And by the time I got to college, I woke up. I remember feeling like, what am I doing? I have to get off the sidelines. I'm smart. I need to start sticking up for myself. And I did. But those gender issues, those gender inequality and stereotypes were on my radar. But I didn't know what to do about it. I didn't know what I could do personally to change things. So I pushed it aside until I met Lola. And then I knew what I was going to do personally to change things. And I no longer pushed it aside. But what I didn't know was the hard battle ahead of me, the long road ahead of me, and that I would have to be fiercely persistent and determined to create change. So once I started moving forward on my positive image product for girls idea, it took 2 years from rough draft to the actual debut of the first doll, which was tennis girl Gracie, after my daughter, at the US Open, where 500 sold out in 6 days. So I knew I had a good test, and that was in August of 2008. So I knew I had a good test, I knew I had a good product, and I knew I had a good mission. Now my next goal was to launch the entire line of 9 dolls at the New York Toy Fair in February of 2009. And I thought, I am taking Toy Fair by storm. I have the next best thing. Well, not so much. I had so many buyers come to my booth and say, wow, what a great product. And I'd say, thank you. And they'd say, that is so smart. And I'd say, thank you. How many would you like to buy? And they say, oh, no. We're not going to buy it. It'll never sell. It's not fashion. It's not mainstream. Girls like fashion. Can you create a fashion doll? I'm like, that's my point. There are 1,000 fashion dolls out there. And as a mother of a daughter and as a woman, I am positive girls like more than fashion. I will never create a fashion doll. I also realized at that time that mainstream ideas never create change, and I was creating change. So for 5 years, it was difficult. It was very difficult. My personality is such as that I am super even keel, and this business kicked my butt. I had so many ups, I had so many downs. It was unbelievable, but I knew the mission was so much more important than the business, that I needed to keep going. I needed to fiercely keep going. And I did. And what kept me going? People like Gretchen, the media. Gretchen had me on her show as many times as she could to support me and help get this message out, to help get this product out. I was featured on the Today Show. I was in Forbes multiple times, the Shape, the New York Times. I won every award in the toy industry, top awards, but the buyers were my gatekeepers. So after 5 years, in 2013, I told my husband, I said, hey, listen, I am going to give Toy Fair one more shot. And if it doesn't work out, I'm throwing in the towel, which just broke my heart because I knew girls deserve more, but I had to be realistic too. So just by chance, I had an opportunity to pitch to Walmart buyers, 3 Walmart buyers. I had 5 minutes. I had nothing to lose. So I gave it my best shot, and after 5 minutes, they said, this is a winner. If you can write 6 books to go along with 6 of the dolls, package it together, we will put them in Walmart stores. Well, you can only imagine my excitement. They had no idea what I was about to throw in the towel. I am hugging them. I called the author of the Go-Go Sports Girl books, and I said, we need to work with an illustrator and an editor. And we did for 2 years. And we produced the Go-Go Sports Girl read and plays that hit Walmart stores in 2015. And this is what got the ball rolling. By 2016, I was invited to the White House twice to participate in conferences on breaking gender stereotypes. And in October of that year, I sold my company to Jazzwares, a large cutting-edge toy company who will take this brand to the next level. And together, our goal is to inspire and empower girls throughout the world. So I do believe that we're working towards greater gender equality, but there's a ways to go. And Warren Buffett once said, and I love this quote, he said, look at what our country has accomplished using half its talent. And imagine what we could accomplish if we pulled women off the sidelines. So I want to challenge you. Together, let's be fierce and create change and change our culture. Pull every little girl off the sidelines and support her strong, smart, adventurous, and fierce spirit, because ultimately you are supporting our future female leaders.